Okay, so today's Monday. Some more packages came in. The and I'll probably do a separate review for this, but well, I will do a separate review for this, but uh, there was a 10 gig dual port Ethernet card that I picked up, and I'm telling you, I had a bear of a time getting this thing set up. Um, I could see blink lights on the switch, and um, but it just was not pulling an IP address. And I fought and fought and fought with it. Ended up plugging back in the um, onboard NIC and still couldn't get an IP address. I was doing everything I could, and the only thing I could think is I configured the Aquantia NIC to be the NIC, and when I pulled that out, it didn't have a chance to pull in the other network adapters, and so it just refused to see them at all. So after some fiddling, doing a whole bunch of Google searching, I finally came to you would think you'd go through and set the network adapter, reset the network adapter, and everything would be great. You have to say, no, don't reset the network adapter, go through and then set your configuration settings, and boof, there it is. It starts working. So, yeah, really frustrating, but finally got it up and going. So, let's switch over here. And you can see I've got the interface 1 and interface 2 here. They're up and running. I'm still looking into the CPU temperatures. I'm not 100% certain on this. I swapped out for another CPU cooler. So this is a 3U instead of a 2U. I'm just not sold on the build for these things. It doesn't cover the entire heat spreader. And yeah, I don't know. It seems to be keeping the temperature slightly lower. Slightly. And I haven't really hit it with a big hard load to see, what it does. And then the other thing that I'm doing is right now, just for testing, I've got everything in a series of stripes. So if we come over to the VDEVs, I've got all 16 drives. Let's go over to storage and pools. And I don't remember how to get to where I want to be. Is it pool options? No. That doesn't tell me what I want to do either. Anyway, I've got it set in 2 sets of 8 drives, striped, each one striped. And so, let's just run it again here real quick. So this was what I was getting, just by its, with the original configuration. And if we run this again, let's go back to the dashboard real quick so we can see that running. You'll see we're at 71. And these are right at the network interface limitation. So, man, that thing is loud when it starts going. So yeah, I'm gonna have to find some sort of balance and there's a lot of tweaking to do here, but I need good solid write speeds and read speeds for that matter. But I think the key learning that I took from the guys on the forums was, one, having a massive VDEV with all 16 drives in it is no good. The exact reasoning why I'm not entirely sure, something about slivers and stuff I don't fully understand yet. But the so I'm gonna break it down into smaller sections and then maybe do kind of a RAID 10 scenario which really would suck, but two stripes mirrored together, because then you could have a failure in one and then pull the other. But maybe, I don't know, there's also the possibility of doing a RAID Z1 and two sets of mirrored RAID Z1s maybe, or something. Again, there's some tweaking to do here for sure, but you can see, if I take the chains off of it, it is fast. It is very, very fast. This is on spinning Rust. We're pulling some pretty serious numbers here. So, yeah. But otherwise, the other really big thing is it is in the rack now. And that's why I'm complaining about hearing it, because it's spinning up right beside my head. But yeah, it took me, if I had read the instructions, it would not have taken me as long. But took me a little bit, got the rack rails installed, got it in there. I'm still waiting on the front panel connectors. That'll be a big thing to have so that I can turn it off and on without having to take the top off. That would be really nice. And then, so yeah, it's in its home. It's got all the discs in it. Exactly what the pool is going to look like, I don't know for sure, but we're making progress. So I think that's a really good thing. Yeah, and the other thing I'd like to do is get these network interfaces to be a failover, so that if one goes out, the other's still there to pick it up. As it is right now, they're two separate IP addresses, so 601 half dozen of the other, I guess. The other thing that I might do, but I doubt I'll do, is I could aggregate them in a wider scenario, so technically a 20 gigabit port, because I can do the same thing on my motherboard because I've got two 10 gig ports there. So I could configure both of them like that. So the thing with it is, though, that I can only link aggregate the RJ45s. I cannot do the SIFs. So those will have to stay where they are. But I could do, 2 and 2. And then I don't know what I would do with these guys. And then, yeah, just put these back on the back haul. Oh, I am sitting here showing and not showing. Darn. All right, so switch back over to this. So the yeah, so the SIF connectors over here can't, as far as I can tell, they cannot be aggregated. So those will have to remain as they are, either unused or non-aggregated. And then I could aggregate, pairs of these 10 gigabit ports and then get these guys back up and going for my wireless backhaul. Well, the wired backhaul for my wireless system. Because right now I've got two. One of these is the computer downstairs, and the other is the primary host. And we are getting the 2.5 gigabits on that. Yeah. So all in, not a bad push today. The rack rail's super good. Got those installed. The networking frustrating but complete now. And then just figuring out what we're gonna do with the pool. I'm still gonna do some testing just to mess around with, do I need to change block sizes around? Because right now I don't have anything stored on here. I'm just messing around with it, so I can freely, destroy and recreate this pool as many times as I need to kind of figure out, what works best. All right, so that will be all from me today, and we'll go from here.